Hi everyone, it's A Ticket to Christ. We're last in the series of walking as Jesus walked in the light. We're trying to be practical in our day-to-day walk by thinking about if Jesus had to do this as I'm doing it, what would his approach be? How would he view the situation? Would he think? And of course, to be able to formulate that understanding, you need to know the words of Jesus. You need to study him. And so if you've never done it, you really want to read through the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and just closely examine his heart. Get a translation that you can understand. And if English is not your first language, read it in your own language. If English is your second language, but you don't like to read, you don't have to get a complex translation. You can get a simple English translation, pray for discernment, and then once you get the gist of everything, you can go back and get some of these more older English. But the Holy Spirit will prompt you with questions. So even if there's a mistranslated word, I've found that the Holy Spirit prompts, and in further digging to original terminology, you can get at it that way, because it's very difficult to translate from one language to a next. And especially when English changes, so meanings of words can shift from the olden days to now. There's certain words that have a different meaning than they did in the original language of English, for example. So today we're looking at John chapter 8, verse 29, and this is the Lord speaking, and he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. Let's read it again. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. So what is it that jumps out at you? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? For me, and I just looked at this one sentence here in verse 29, but the one above even talks about that Jesus says, I do nothing of myself, but as the Father hath taught me, I speak these things. So there's that close oneness that we see there. And I think this is how we need to be sifting our day, right? What is it that we do in our day? And are the things that we do these things please the Father? When he look at us, is he looking at what we're doing? And even right now I'm speaking to you, I'm sure you're thinking of something and you're asking yourself, is the Father pleased with that? Ask yourself, is the Father pleased with this thought? With the way I'm thinking about this person? Would the Father be pleased with the way I had that conversation or how I handled it? And sometimes you might not know, you might be uncertain because you don't know enough about him or you don't know his heart. But you can always pray and ask God to reveal to you what it is that he thinks, and be honest in your prayer, because again, sometimes we can be self-deceived, especially if it's something we don't want to give up or we don't want to lose or we don't like the answer. And so we come sifting it. And if you're uncertain, it's okay to wait, to keep praying, tarrying in prayer, and to keep praying until God makes it clear. He's going to make it clear at the right time. Sometimes maybe he just needs to build your faith. Because he knows, what they're asking for, they can't handle it. Let me build their faith a little bit, and then I will bring the revelation and understanding to them. So think about what you want, right? Ask it, would the Father be pleased with this? Think about what you're listening to, especially when you have the day off, it's a weekend, how you spend your time, where you go. Would God be pleased with it? And seriously think about that. Like, where would he go? How would he spend his Saturdays? How would he spend his Sundays? How would he start his day? What would his priorities be? And have I been doing that? How is my day going, right? Did I spend time with God this morning? Did I pray this morning? Right? So those are some of the things I can think of as, because today is a weekend, I'm not thinking about work because I don't have to work on a weekend. I'm thinking about, okay, what do you use your free time to do, you know? And it's not that you can't relax, have quality time. Of course you can do that. But just not looking for comfort and ease with life. I think a lot of times, especially in our generation, it's all about comfort and ease. And I think that's where we can get tripped up. A place is too far. We don't want to go because it's out of the way. It takes effort to go maybe encourage this person at their celebration. Or you might be uncertain of who's going to be there, and it might not be comfortable for you, but it would be, it would encourage the person for you to go. So go, things like that. And you would know each person is different. I think each person has a different circumstance that they might have to face and deal with. And so depending on the circumstance that you're faced with, you will be able to know what type of decision to make. And so I see that Jesus obeyed the Father even to death. And so we need to make sure that that's who we're obeying, that we're obeying God, that we're not bowing our knees to, people, right? We're not people pleasing and obeying people and jumping at them. Their call, the person is saying something, and so we have to now prove a point. No, our obedience is to God. If God calls you to do it, that's when you do it. If God says, share something, that's when you share it. If God makes it clear to you that that's where you should go, that's where you go. But I think a lot of people, sometimes they're not seeking obedience to God. They're seeking obedience to a religious system. They are obeying their denominational church doctrine. They're obeying their ministers or their priests. They're obeying the government. They're obeying their group, the particular tribe or group that they're part of, locking themselves into bondage unknowingly so that they can have a tribe and fit in. People obeying all these sorts of things. And so the person that you obey, that is your God. That person takes that part of God in that sense, right? And so our obedience has to be to God. That whatever it is that we do, the good that we do, it's out of obedience to Him and out of what He has called us to do. So those are the insights I'm getting from this and wrapping this series up. I hope it's giving you a lot of food for thought, blessing you in some small way, and that you're looking at the positive of it in just really. I just want clarity. That's the whole point. Clarity. The Holy Spirit brings clarity. Not cloud, not fogginess in the sense of your mind is clouded and cluttered and things are chaotic. He brings clarity, He brings convictions, He brings hope, right? And so that's the whole point behind obedience and alignment with God, is so that you can receive His best intention for your life. So that is it from me, beloved. We're going to pick up a new series tomorrow. I hope you join me then. Have a great day.